Then we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We start with Sefer Chaim. The big topic is the same, believe in Lashon Hara. Today's topic, proper approach. The Talmud Nida 61a makes it clear that although the negative information should not be accepted as a fact, one can and should act to protect himself and the others on a chance that it may be true. Just as the naive and wrong to believe the Lashon Hara one hears, so too is naive and irresponsible to totally ignore the report, which could save oneself or others from possible harm or anguish. So it's very interesting statement, right? On one hand, we're not allowed to believe. On the other hand, have to take into consideration and just act on it, right? To protect yourself, to protect your close ones. Don't disclose why, but just or do investigation. And maybe you're going to confirm that's whatever this statement was said to, it is actually true. On a personal level, one's relationship with the subject of a negative report should not change. That's very interesting. Okay, so you take care to protect yourself, but still remember that you're not allowed to accept this report. So don't be affected by that. Chances are that the statement was inaccurate and if altogether false. Right? One behavior toward the individual should therefore not be affected at all. And one should continue to show him kindness and assist him as in the past. On a practical level, one should investigate the matter and protect himself against any possible harm that could result from the report provided. If the report should the report provide to be true. So basically, our relationship should not change because maybe it's not true, right? How do we know? On one hand. On another hand, on a practical level, let's say do investigation. Do, as we said before, right? Do what you need to do and protect yourself. There is no, as Rabbi Mizrahi Shlita says many times, there is no mitzvah to be stupid or naive, right? Why should you? If, for example, one hears that an acquaintance is dishonest, it is forbidden to think of him as such, but one should keep his wallet in a safe place when that person is around. That's it. So, I mean, you can invite him in the house, but valuables just keep somewhere else. If one is, but I mean, it's in general. Even if it's honest people, don't tempt them. I mean, don't put them in the situation. So they should like differently from their character, natural character. Okay, when person is around, you know, if one is told that the person should accept the charity, well, person is around. So okay, I apologize. Right. So keep your wallet away, but he's around. If one told that a person who accepts charity is actually well-to-do, one should not stop assisting him until the matter has been investigated, and it has been determined beyond the doubt that he is not deserving the assistance. So okay, I mean it's very possible somebody is accepting charity, but he actually has a job and has a big Bitcoin and Schmidt coins, so all these things on the side. And okay, just because somebody said so, it does not mean that he has now that he's doing well. And do your investigation. Ask him maybe. I don't know. What do we start here? So continue with Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. And we're up to Siman number 32. Right, and our topic is a very interesting topic. Protecting one's health through the natural means. Contain 27 seifim. Okay, so it's very long. HaShem. Introduction. As long as a God-given gift of a human body comes the great, as long with the God-given gift of the human body comes the great responsibility for caring for it properly. The following Siman is based primarily on Rambam Hilchos Deos chapter 4, who places strong emphasis on both eating the right foods and the way they are to be eaten. Okay, so there is a commentary, and we're going to explain. The Gemara is replete with a The Gemara is replete with medical advice and various remedies of all sorts of ailments, most of which are omitted by Rambam. Case of Mishnah, Hilchos Deos 4:18, explained that Rambam is of the opinion that this information applies only to the locale of the sages. There is a bubble. So also Tosafos Moed Katan 11, okay, who writes that the remedies found in a Gemara were ineffective in their day and age. Okay, so anyway, whatever situation is. So we're going to based on, as we just said, on Hilchos Deos, and we actually covered in our different class. But since we're here anyway, so we're going to learn it in this class also. Since I think it's a little different, it's not exactly as in Hilchos Deos. So first of all, when we learn Gemara, many things that we just explained that are said there, they're not exactly going to work in our times. So Rambam said he listed, since he was a doctor, he listed only things that were applicable to his time. But our sages say today some things change since then, and the nature of the people changed, foods changed, right? Many foods are processed, and our lifestyle will change. So we have to take all of these adjustments into consideration also. Okay, continue with introduction. Mental health, personal hygiene, and sleep habits also addressed in this Siman, right? So it's part of the health, how much you sleep, take care of yourself, right? As they too played an important role in one's overall well-being. The medical advice here is consistent with accepted medical opinions of the 19th century, when this work was authorized. Clearly, nowadays, one should follow contemporary medical opinion with when they decided on dietary and other issues regarding health and physical well-being. So, Rambam wrote this Hilchos Deos about 850 years ago, approximately. Right, the Gemara concluded, I would say, like 1500 years ago, plus minus. It's concluded. So all of this advice, it's even before that time, right? And this Kitzur, if it's from 19th century. Okay, so just so you know, so things change. Okay, so number one. Since maintaining healthy and fit body is an attribute of godliness, for it is impossible to properly understand or gain any knowledge of the Creator if one is ill. Therefore, it is incumbent upon every person to distance himself from anything that can harm the body, and to accustom himself to things that strengthen and restore health to the body. So, the Kitzur is very, very straightforward. So basically, if a person is sick, right, it's very hard to learn. It's very hard to comprehend. It's very hard to keep focused, and it's very hard to do many things, right? So that's why it's one of the things, one of the reasons that we have to. A few of the reasons that we have to keep our body healthy, right? So it says to the things to strengthen and restore health of the body. Okay, commentary. This is direct quote from Rambam, Hilchos Deos 4. Rabbi Moshe finds in the Igdas Moshe Choshen Hamishpat 276 points out that Rambam does not express this directive in the form of a command, but as a sound advice. Rabbi finds and explains that adhering to this behavior cannot be a requirement since many people are indulgent, yet they are not harmed. Furthermore, poverty limits many people to eating only within their means. Therefore, Rambam's intentions here is to identify the variety of food and to advise people about the ideal eating habits. So, very interesting addition from Moshe Feinstein. That's all. So here, first of all, he said it's not commandment, but it's an advice. Okay, but it's advice as from Rambam. I would say it's like a commandment, right? Because it's good for you. That's what he said. And plus, he had many people. I'm not indulgent, and they not suffer. I think they suffer a lot. I think old people, like overweight people, I think they suffer a lot from this. Okay, I don't know. Or people because of the disease, because of the eating habits. Okay, and plus this, of course, but the last point is, of course, and people that don't have money to buy good quality food. So, of course, that's a different story. Continue. This concept is reflected in a verse, as stated in Devarim 4:15. You shall greatly beware for your souls. That is, you should take great care to ensure your continued physical health and survival. Okay, so let's see. So Torah is very straightforward, right? You shall greatly beware of your soul. So we're not allowed, we're not permitted, we're not allowed to neglect our bodies. Number 3. This verse is not cited by Rambam as a proof. Although this is not the plain meaning of the verse, many authors expound it homiletically as teaching the prohibition of endanger to endanger one's life. See Brachas 32b, see Machar Shavdeh, Rambam, Hilchos 1:11-14, Levush Yoradeh 1:16-1. It's a general directive not to endanger our life. I don't know, maybe some mountain climbing, rock climbing, all these things. Maybe people don't die, but they injure themselves. Or I don't know, it's skiing. I don't know, all these things could be dangerous. Okay, so CF number 2. A Kitzur proceeds to explain the function of food and how it is processed by the body. Okay, the Creator, blessed be He, and blessed is His name, created the human beings and all living creatures, and instilled in him the natural heat. Commentary, see below, CF 22. There the Kitzur attributes the source of the one's body heat to the blood and circulation. Okay, so we have this natural heat, and this is the source of life of every person. For this is natural fire, if this natural fire were to extinguish, his life would immediately cease. So very, very important. So we have this natural heat, and as we understand, different people have different body constitution. Some is very hot-blooded, and some is cold-blooded, right? The sustenance of this heat is achieved through the food that the person consumes. This can be compared to a fire that continuously burns. Unless wood is constantly added, it will be completely extinguished. So it's very interesting in comparison to the fire. So same, for example, when we fast, right? Then people who are fasting, they're always cold. Right? Legs are cold, hands are cold. Why cold? Because as Kitzur explained, it's like a food, like a fuel, right, for the fire. So you don't give food to the body, so the body becomes cold. Likewise, a person, if he does not eat, his inner fire will be extinguished, and he will die. So that's why all sages say, done in Rambam specifically in this is chapter 4, but in chapter 3 of Hilchot Deot, he said, do not fast exceedingly. Do not fast. If you must fast on a public fast or a communal fast, yeah, of course fast. But do not accept like extra fasts on yourselves. When a person eats, the food is the first ground between the teeth and mixed with saliva, and then broken down. There is a partially digested to form a semi-liquid mass. Semi-liquid mass. And there is in the mouth, it descends to the stomach, where it is ground further and mixed with the liquid of the stomach and of the gallbladder. There is bile. Okay, so I mean that's a little biology class, autonomy class. So first person eats, right? He chews the food. It got mixed with saliva that he swallowed, and then the stomach start working, breaking down the food. Okay. Continue. As the process continues, the food is broken down further and cooked by the heat of the gastric fluids. Okay, and begin to be digested by the body. During digestion, a portion of the food is selected, and from that portion, all of the body organs receive the nourishment and sustain a person's life. The waste, which is excess portion of the food, is excreted from the body. So basically, this food turns into blood, and blood is being delivered to all of the organs, all of the parts of the body, and that's how they're being sustained. Okay, the rest is going out. Okay, continue. So we need this introduction for that way. I understand that Kitzur is going to explain now we will tell you how it works. So and how harmful could be this harmful foods. For different people, different foods are harmful, basically. Right? It is in reference to this set of purposes that we say that the blessing Asher Yotzer, according to one interpretation, the entire blessing Asher Yotzer is explained detailedly by Beis Yosef. Kitzur interpretation is cited here in the name of Abudraham. Ramachavo explained that this portion of the blessing as a reference to the HaShem's wondrous feat of fusing together the spiritual soul and physical body, so that the function is the function in concern in every human being. Okay, so Asher Yotzer is a blessing where we say after, which is interesting, right? So Asher Yotzer and translation in Acts wonders. This is the blessing. In this blessing, we give thanks to Holy One, blessed be He, who gave the natural ability for every person to allow his body to select good portion from the food that he eats. So it's very important blessing, and it's especially it's big zgula to say it with a concentration, not in a rush. That's proper way. I mean, it's proper way for all of the blessings, but here they say, I would say, if you want to be healthy, concentrate on the words of Asher Yotzer. This blessing after the restroom. Additionally, so basically why? Because you see all the miracles that HaShem, as the Kitzur explained, HaShem in His great wisdom created the body so that it can absorb whatever is good for the body and get rid of whatever is not good for the body. So it's, I mean, many people cannot do that. They would eat like all of the foods that basically not good for them. Right? So continue. Additionally, we are endowed with a wondrous system in which every organ can draw itself the appropriate nourishment. Right. So some elements, if you see all these elements that have to be in the body, so some of them like a 0.5%, 0.0 whatever 1%, right? So it's very, very tiny portions of the body, but through the food, body is able to keep the balance, and the waste is excreted out of the body. Okay, this function is particularly crucial for one's survival. For if any of the waste product remains inside of the body, it would rot and would cause one become ill, God forbid. So it's not only, so it's very important to know, right? So if a person cannot go to the restroom for a few days, so it's a life danger, right? It's life danger, and sometimes I have a person who is a nurse, so he told me that he was working in a nursing home. They had to rush these people to the hospital, right? It was serious business, right? That they could not take care of them somehow. I don't remember why, in the nursing home environment, right? Because why? Because person could not go to the restroom for a few days. It was that bad. Okay, so and he would die, like because why? Because the body started to become poisoned by his own waste. So I mean, after learning this, you understand how HaShem is merciful that he allows us to excrete all of the things, which is this waste is dangerous. Therefore, it is evident that most of the physical strength or weakness is dependent on the digestive process, right? So why? Because first of all, you get the nourishment from digestive from the food, and plus that you can go to the bathroom and get rid of all of the waste matter. If food is digested easily and efficiently, then the person will remain healthy. Okay. However, if the digestive process is impaired, the person's body will become weakened, and he come to the grave danger, God forbid. Okay, so if some problem with this perfect balance that HaShem created, right, to any side, so that would create a big danger to his life. Okay, continue. Number 3. Having stressed the importance of smooth digestive process, Kitzur will explain how this is accomplished. The digestive process is most efficient if the amount of food eaten is not too great, and it is easily digestible. Okay, so first of all, so here we go. Simple food, light food, and not too much. Okay. For if person eats too much and the stomach is full, then the digestion is difficult. Right. The reason for this difficulty is that since the stomach is completely full, it cannot expand and contract in its normal fashion to grind up the food properly. So to grind up the food, the stomach shrinks and contracts, So now when person ate, I don't know, maybe it was free food, I don't know why he would eat so much, because every normal person should have learned this lesson, or I don't know, and know that he's killing himself because of the greed or whatever, though, because of this food. First of all, it's not necessary, right? It's extra food that kills his health, and plus, I don't know, I'm not sure why would people do that. Okay. So one more time, the reason for this difficulty is that since the stomach is completely full, it cannot expand and contract in normal fashion to grind up the food properly. Okay. Just as a fire, which if too much food is added, will not burn well, so too excessive food in a stomach cannot be digested well. Okay, so very very simple. So if you put too much wood, like huge logs in the fire, it's not going to burn well, right? But if you cut them in pieces and put just few at a time, it would burn much better. Therefore, a person who wishes to protect his physical health needs to be vigilant and eat only moderate amount. So first suggestion, or I don't know what number of suggestions, don't overeat. This amount can vary depending on one's metabolism, but it should not be too little, nor should one be completely satiated. So too little meaning it's not enough for a body to function. Also not good, right? Nor should be one completely satiated. So you have to be a little hungry. Most illnesses that afflict men are caused only to consumption of harmful foods. So here we go. Why people get sick? Because they eat all the harmful foods. Or because he fills his stomach and eats excessive amount. So bad foods, why people get sick? Because of the bad foods and overeating. The latter form of behavior is harmful even if one consumes foods that are good for the body. So, but even if he overeats, even if it's good foods like fruits, or fruits are not always good so much. Maybe some vegetables, so it's also not good. In reference to this, Shlomo HaMelech wisely stated in Mishnah 21:23, one who guards his mouth and his tongue guards his soul from trouble. This means that one who guards his mouth from eating something harmful or from eating until he's satiated, and guards his tongue from speaking more than necessary, protects his soul and ensures his survival. Okay, so let's read the commentary and we're going to explain. The reference to unnecessary speech is seemingly irrelevant and is cited here for the sake of explanation of the verse in its entirety. So the primary explanation is it's not about food, but it's about this excessive speaking, right? That when, as we learned in our class of Shmiras Lashon, right, that person when he speaks excessively, so most likely he would speak Lashon Hara. Not most likely, guarantee that he's going to speak Lashon Hara. Alternatively, Kitzur views the verse as identifying as a strong link between eating and speech. If one practices restraint in regard to what he says, he is more likely to exercise control over his eating habits. One more time, habits. It's also Igras Hagra will go on stresses the importance of controlling one's impulses. Principle is the area of eating and speaking. Okay, so they basically combine it together. Okay. So it was number 6. 1 second. So the commentary explained it's a straightforward understanding, not to overeat, right? And hermeneutical explanation is not to speak too much. Okay, continue. Another point that highlights the danger of overeating. A wise man stated, one who eats a small amount of harmful food does not cause as much damage to himself as one who eats too much of healthy food. So that's amazing line. Rambam also says. So one more time, let's read one more time and try to understand. One who eats small amount of harmful foods. So small amount of harmful foods, most likely that his body would get used to these harmful foods and they're not going to be harmful for him, especially because of the small amounts. Does not cause as much danger of this harmful food as one, to himself as one who eats too much of healthy food. So healthy food, when we said overeating, is not good. Number 4, different people have different dietary needs, and the needs vary dependent on their age, right? As we said, for to keep the same body heat, right? A person in his youth has a strong digestive system. Therefore, he requires food on a regular basis, right? So kids are always hungry. Right? They jump, they scream, they run. They always hungry. That's good, Baruch HaShem. More than the middle-aged person requires. So younger people need more food than older people. Here they say middle age. An elderly person, due to his waning strength, requires light food in small quantities, by high in quality. Right? There is nutrition value in order to strengthen himself. Okay, so let's see about this elderly person. And the elderly person, due to his waning strength, requires light food because they cannot handle this heavy food, right? Light food, first of all, in small quantities, not too much, but high in quality, meaning nutrition value, something like rich, right? In order to strengthen him. Okay. Second. So number 5. During the warmer season, the digestive organs are weakened due to the heat. And so it is proper that the amount one eats during the warmer season be less than the colder season. So in a summer, you're not as hungry as you're in the winter, right? It's always hot, so people don't have appetite when it's too hot. Maybe if, to drink, but not to the food. Okay. In the opinion of the medical experts, in the summer, a person should eat just 2/3 of what he would eat in the winter. So very interesting. If whatever food he eats in the winter is we say it's number 3. So represented by the number 3. So during the summer, 2/3. So a little less. No, not a little less. 30% less. It's not a little less. Okay. Number 6. Fundamental principle in the field of medicine is to precede the meal by exercise through walking or other forms of physical labor until his body temperature rises. So let's see commentary and make it explain. This suggestion is taken from the Gemara. However, there are other reasons for this exercise as well. Rashi in Brachos 23b explained that the walking stimulates the bowels and allows one to relieve himself before the meal, avoiding the uncomfortable situation of having to use facilities during the meal. So especially in the olden days and in our time also, so it's Shulchan Aruch also said that it's preferable to empty your bowels before you start meal, right? So and how? Just walk. So when also walk when the body start moving. So sometimes you have urge to go and clean your body, right? Or according to Rambam, right? According to Rambam, so to warm up your body, so it would be ready to digest the food. Okay. Then afterward, he should eat. So take a little walk, do some exercise, not exercise, but do what you need to do. Don't go crazy, but basically, a person should not just get up and stop eating. Right? So he was sitting at the desk for 3 hours, 5 hours, and now get up and start eating. That's not good. Basically, that's what they say. Regarding this, it is written in Torah, Bereshit 3:19, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. It's very interesting. So let's see, commentary may explain. This is homiletical interpretation of the verse that is part of God's response to Adam after he ate from the tree of knowledge. The straightforward understanding of this verse is that until now, HaShem said to Adam, right? Until now, everything was free and everything was easy to get, right? All the food. But after you sinned, I'm going to expel you from the Garden of Eden, and now you're going to work very hard to get your sustenance, right? That's straightforward understanding of the verse. But homiletical is explanation is that I mean before you eat you have to sweat a little. That's interesting. Additionally, the scripture states in Mishnah 31:27, if one does not eat the bread, and one does not eat the bread of laziness. Very interesting. So, what is it? Mishnah, it's right. It's all of these parables, right? So, commentators say, thus one should engage in activity before eating. So, meaning, do not be lazy. Don't lay on the couch and then stand and go to the kitchen and start eating. That's not proper. So, you have to do some activities basically. Before eating, one should loosen one's belt to allow for expansion of the stomach. Okay. A mnemonic device to remember this rule can be found in a verse in Bereshit 18:5. I will fetch a morsel of bread. The word ekha is reverse acronym for loosen the belt before eating. Okay. And the word pas lechem, acronym for lest you be afflicted by a gastric illness. Okay. So basically don't wear your belt too tight, as they say. So commentary. That is the first letter of the words. Okay. Got it. Okay. So I unless you loosen your belt, you can get this gastric illness, which we all of us do not want, of course. While eating, one should remain seated in his place or lean on his left side. Okay, as we do on Pesach, but usually it's not very convenient, at least for me, to live on the left side. Okay, but sitting, that's a proper way of eating, not walking around, not to, I don't know, sitting. After eating, one should not be very active because this type of movement will cause the food to descend from the stomach before it's properly digested. So let it be no exercise, no crazy things. So otherwise, if we say the food is going to go to waste, and this will cause him harm. Okay. Not only to waste, but also cause him harm. Rather, he should walk a short distance and then rest. Okay, after, or do something, maybe wash the dishes or do something, right? Do some activities. Additionally, one should not go for a long walk. Nor should he exert himself after the meal. So, no exhaustion as we finish the meal, no exhaustion. Very important. One should not go to sleep after a meal until 2 hours have passed. So I think it's it's not working very well on Friday night, I guess. Right, when people finish eating and they go to sleep. I mean, even if they sit around the table for some time, but I don't think it's 2 hours. I mean, maybe some people. Okay. So that the vapors from the digested food do not rise to his brain and harm him. So while he vapors from harm food, so that vapor from digesting food I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. So that's what it says. Do not rise to his brain and harm him. So basically, okay. I'm not sure that they have to go out from his mouth to his nose, or it's actually inside of the body. Maybe inside of the body. I'm not sure. Okay. But when you lay down, when you standing up, I guess it's different. Similarly, attending to the bathhouse, letting blood. So basically, don't take shower, don't take bath after you ate. Right? That's not a good idea. Similarly, attending the bathhouse, letting blood, and engaging in marital relation should be avoided immediately after the meal, which is when they are detrimental to one's health. So all of these things not good for health. After what? After the meal. Number 7. Another factor that to consider when choosing foods is that no two people share the same constitution. That's what I was referring to, right? There are those who have a warm constitution, and the other who have the cold constitution, and yet others have moderate constitution. So basically, some people eat hot foods, right? All the peppers, all the I remember I was working in an office, and there were like a lot of Indians, right? So just go to the cafeteria and smell the food, like it's so spicy. It's like my eyes would like pop out just from the spice. I'm not sure how they were able to eat this stuff, right? But they actually enjoyed it. Looks like it, right? Crazy. So we have three kinds of constitution, right? One is very have warm constitution, cold constitution, not moderate constitution. Just as people are not the same, foods also different. It is important that each individual choose a diet that creates a balance between his body and foods he eats. Very important, right? Balance between his body and foods he eats. I mean, there are some foods that are generally good, but one has to understand or ask a doctor or understand whatever is good for him. I mean, it's okay. Continue. One who has a moderate constitution should eat foods that are also of moderate nature. However, one who does not have the moderate constitution should eat foods that are slightly opposite of his constitution, meaning to bring to the balance, so he goes to the different side. Okay. The proper balance is achieved as follows. One who is of warm constitution should not eat hot and spicy food and then become crazy. I'm just saying it from myself. That cause the body temperature to rise. So of course, I mean, you eat the spicy food, for example, right? And you have air conditioner, and you start sweating from what? How is it possible? Right? So why? Because they cause the body temperature to rise. So if he is hot-blooded as it is, so it's not recommended. Such as spices and fragrant herbs. Rather, he should eat foods that have cooling effect on the body, and some pickled foods as well. So pickled food looks like have a cooling effect on the body. Okay. One who is has cold constitution should eat hot and spicy foods and that have warmer effects on the body. But usually I think people doing exactly opposite. That's what I think. Exactly opposite. So people from a warmer country, right? The country, they eat spicy food. And people from the north, they don't eat spicy food. They eat the opposite. They eat like plain food. Okay. Similarly, the food intake should be adjusted according to the season and one's location. Exactly. During the summer, one should eat foods that have a cooling effect on his body, right? Not to be overheated. It's hot as it is. So why you want the overheat your body? Such as meat of lambs. Very interesting. So meat of lambs has a cooling effect on the body. Tender goats, young chicken, and also some pickled foods. So this food is very interesting. I really not know the tender meat of the lamb. Okay. During the colder season, one should eat foods that are warm, the body. Similar, so meaning add a little spices to that. Similarly, in a cold land, one should eat foods that warm the body. And in a warm land, one should consume the food that cool the body. Okay, so continue. See if number 8. I mean, it's a little easy reading, but it's very, very important to know all the things. As we said, the healthier the person is, the easier it's going to be for him to serve HaShem. The most moderate food is bread made from wheat, but not from the highly refined flour, because the fine flour requires too much time for digestion. Interesting, right? Rather, the flour should contain a small amount of bran, which facilitate digestion. So bran is good for you. And the bread should be moderately fermented. Okay. In addition, it should contain salt and baked in the oven. So, I mean, it's the way I see it's a regular bread, and I would say I'm going to add for myself. Don't buy breads that can stay fresh for 2 weeks. That's not good bread. They have too many preservatives. Right. So continue. Any other foods that are wheat products are not good for the body. So bread is good for the body. Other wheat products not good for the body. There are certain types of the meats that are good for the body. This included meat of the lamb of the first year. Okay, lamb of first year is good for the body, and suckling goats. Baby goats. Okay. However, any type of the intestinal meat, as well as meat of the head, are not good for the body. So intestinal meat, I'm not sure. I mean, like they sell liver. I'm not sure why would somebody eat liver. That's beyond me. I mean, you know how much blood is in there. I mean, and you have to kosher it. Usually, in some stores they sell it kosher, but in a store where we buy meat, he sell it raw, so you will have to kosher it yourself. Too much work, and it's so not healthy. Like additionally, the meat of goats and cows in their later years and aged cheese are all heavy foods and harmful for the body. So all the the goats are out of their later years. Okay. Me personally, I'm not sure how to tell the difference, but I guess some people know. Okay. Maybe by color, I'm not sure how would they say. I mean, if it's piece of meat, or unless you have the person. Any type of poultry is more easily digested than meat of the animal. So, okay, chicken is the best thing, basically. It's easily digested. You get your nutrition and everything is good. However, the best type of poultry is a hen. Okay. The final remarks about the unhealthy foods. Doctors say that food to which one is accustomed will not harm him, even if it is a harmful type of food, because the habit eventually becomes one nature. So here's the thing: this idea how the nature of the person changes. Right? People adjust to different climates, to different environments, and to different foods. So it is a harmful food, but he's been eating from age of 10 years old. Now he's 50, let's say. Right? There is no problem for him. However, one is immune to the effect of such food only as long as it does not fill the stomach with it. Okay, meaning if you don't eat too much. So if you eat a little this harmful food, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe spicy food. I don't know. So it's not as harmful. I mean, if he control himself. Number 9. Certain behaviors, as mentioned in the Gemara, as having the power to cause memory loss. Commentary. Harais 13b. The commentators differ in the explanation of this passage. Merely indicates that such a foods actually have pharmacological properties that affect the mind, while others of the opinion that their powers are rooted in mysticism. Okay, so let's see. Eating the following foods fall under this category. One should not eat heart of an animal or bird because it causes memory loss. But I mean, in our stores, they don't sell it. Maybe I saw it on a few times, but they use it. They don't throw out. So when you buy bologna or salami, that's where they put it. It's not good. It's not good. This processed meat. That's what it is. Or hot dogs, I guess. I mean, you don't see what kind of meat is there, so it's better not to buy it. Similarly, one should not eat any food from which a mouse or a cat has eaten, because it causes the memory loss. So sometimes, I mean, people they kiss their dogs. Oh, cats, unbelievable. And I guess they would eat from the same food. There is no problem. So he gave a dog to bite. So what is the difference between him and the dog? Right? Okay, continue. Check that. Okay, have time. The proper time for eating is when one feels true need to eat. So some people eat because they're bored, right? That's not the proper time to eat. When one feels true need to eat, not an artificial desire. For example, he's not really hungry. The way to distinguish between a true need to eat and artificial cravings, right, is as follows. The first feeling that is mentioned above is called hunger. One more time, 1 second. Not an artificial desire. There is not really hungry, right? So I mean, he was passing by the kitchen and it smelled good, and now he said, "Now I'm hungry." That's not proper way. The way to distinguish between the true need to eat and an artificial craving is as follows, right? The first feeling that is mentioned above is called hunger, which is the result of empty stomach. The latter is identified by the urge of eat specific food, and this is called craving. So very brilliant explanation. I think Rambam said exactly the same. The difference between hunger and craving. Hunger meaning that you're going to eat anything, right? You're so hungry, you didn't eat the whole day, you were outside, you're tired, you were digging a hole, wherever you were digging, right? So you're very tired, so you're ready to eat whatever they give you, right? But if person or kids, right? I want to eat, I'm very hungry, I'm starving, I'm going to eat only this. So you ask me, how about salad? Salad I don't want. So meaning that person is not hungry. It's craving. Craving, hungry, two different things. Continue. Generally speaking, a strong and healthy person should eat meal twice a day. However, those of weaker constitution and elderly should eat only small amounts at a time, and they should eat several times a day to ensure that they're getting nourishment they need. So basically, it's an elderly person and a weak person, sick person, they cannot eat a lot, right? But they need to eat constantly. So I don't know, maybe 4, even 5 times a day, but small portions. Because excessive amount of food weakens the stomach. Right? So if they put too much food, So now all of the resources of the body resources are concentrated on the stomach. So he's weak. She's weak as it is. So now they become even weaker. So it's not good for them. So a big meal. Continue. One who wishes to protect his health should not eat until the stomach is emptied itself from the food that is previously eaten. So basically, if you still have feel that you have food in your digestive system, so it's better not to eat at this point yet. In order to adhere to this suggestion, one must be aware of when the stomach is in fact empty. Okay, so how do we know? The normal digestive process, of the healthy people who eat food of the moderate nature and exercise moderately takes approximately 6 hours. So here we go. So moderate, nothing special. You're not working like physical jobs and stuff like that. So 6 hours. So from your breakfast, let's say, to the lunch. So I'm trying to adhere to this eating twice a day. Okay, there is some snacks in between. I would eat apple, orange, drink tea, iced tea, whatever. But that's a different thing, right? But at least 6 hours. So that's what I'm trying to do between breakfast. At least I do a little more than 6 hours. If you want to eat twice a day, right? You cannot eat 6 hours apart. That's not going to fly. You would be too hungry at night. So it must be more than 6 hours. Okay. It is recommended that one skip one meal a week. Okay. So the good suggestion. Whatever meal you want to skip. But on the other hand, our sages said it's very big importance of the breakfast. So don't skip the breakfast. So that the stomach may be given respite for its activity and reinvigorate his digestive powers. So meaning leave the stomach alone even for one meal. So one meal, I don't know how many hours, they actually create wonders. Okay. It appears that the author, to this author, that the good time to skip meal would be to be Erev Shabbos, this Friday. So continue. This will enable one to eat on Shabbos with greater appetite. So basically what he's saying here, it's very interesting. So on one hand, you're not allowed to fast on Shabbos, on Friday, on one hand. Right? On the other hand, we're not talking about fasting. We're talking about skipping one meal. So it's a big difference. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. The next one is longer. So to be continued with this very interesting topic of healthy food. Right, so until tomorrow. So tomorrow I might request you a little later time. I send a text. Thank you very much. Good night.